What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to KangBrosTV. It's 5:30 in the morning, straight after the fight. We had to get this video out. Canelo Alvarez victorious yet again. Can Jr. yet again gets the prediction spot on. We both predicted Canelo win, and that's how it's turned out. But respect for your prediction. But is that how you saw it going?
Nah, not at all. To be honest, like I said, you could call the predictions because as in how you want to piece things together. I massive shout out to Billy Joe Saunders. I said it again when we put it on the story. I don't know what these judges are watching because I can't believe someone's got it as far wide. Two judges have got it as far as they had.
Four rounds or some shit.
So as far as I'm concerned, it's almost like if if they did carry on, I don't know. I would hate to have seen what it would have ended up like because as far as I'm concerned, I had it nip and tuck. I actually probably had Billy Joe Saunders a round up, if I'm honest. In my personal scoring of the fight, I thought Billy Joe Saunders gave a really good account of himself. But it's 12 rounds. It's 12 rounds of boxing, and that's what you train for. That's what you're in the gym for day in, day out. And even early on, although I thought Billy Joe Saunders was doing the cleaner and tidier work, and he was probably a bit more slicker, the shots that he hit him with Billy Joe Saunders, you could see him take a step back every time. Do you know what I mean? He always rocks him. So I think it was kind of the result was how we thought it was going to go. Did I see it being like this, a stoppage because of an eye socket broken? No, I didn't. But I thought it'd be a stoppage. But
yeah, I think you're right, and I think the way the fight went on, like you said, it is a 12-round fight. He predicted 8. He said 8, 9, or 10. I'm going to wipe this guy out. So he predicted correctly, and he said it was going to be a difficult fight, which it was. So as much as we want to say against how the fight went, he said what he was going to do, and I think he planned it out. So what else can we say? And the other thing is, did we see it in a biased way as UK fans? Because I also had Billy Joe Saunders 1 round up.
yeah.
But like you said, when you look at the end result, the more punches landed at the end of the day was Canelo. When the stats at the end showed.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. I'm always a bit skeptical about those statistics because it's like we were talking about it, and as we were watching that fight, there was shots that were thrown by Canelo that were hitting arms.
Yeah.
And it's like, so he's actually blocking those shots. Some people see them as scoring shots, and some people is more aggressive. So I don't know. I'm not always overly sold on those types of things. But one thing I will say is, Billy Joe Saunders and the American public will, from the back of this fight, they're going to turn around and be like, you know what? He had this, and the Mexicans, they're going to turn around and say, this guy caused problems. He was a problem. He talked a lot of smack up to his build-up for the fight, and that's the one thing I don't like because I think it's disrespectful. Some of the stuff that you're saying, and some of it's embarrassing. Some of the stuff that you're saying about, there's a video where he says, "Oh, what you and Tyson Fury are going to do?" And they said, "Oh, we're banging prostitutes." Stuff like that. I'm like, man, you got kids, you got misses. Like, come on, bro. Do you know what I mean? That sort of stuff I'm not the biggest fan of. I can see when you want to get under your opponent's skin, and Canelo looked like he was vexed for this fight. There's no two ways about that. He was vexed. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say is I think Billy Joe Saunders, put a bit of respect on who you're fighting against. I know there's people who have bravado and it's all about selling the fight, but I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan of stuff like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that the example you gave there is a perfect example. Obviously, you want to build up the fight, make it big, and we get all that, and it's all about the whole things come with it. But the other thing I want to say as well, Carl Froch was one of the judges in the UK actually had it as in Canelo ahead. When we looked at the card, we was like, what? How do you have it ahead? But he actually had it ahead. So I don't know. Like I said, the power shots and all that kind of stuff, some judges do look it that way, but for me, having 4 rounds was definitely that was definitely not accurate. And also asking Canelo at the end of the fight, how did he see it? He was like, nah. He goes, I thought I was bossing it in the middle of the fight. I think that was a bit like, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think he was. I'd love to hear what other people's opinions are, because people out there who are Team Canelo and very much so in Canelo's camps kind of thing, how did they see it? People from a Billy Joe perspective, how did you guys see it? Did you think it was?
And fans from the US as well, how did you see it?
What do you think? And also what are people's thoughts on Billy Joe Saunders? What account he gave of himself? I guess it's difficult because from our side of things, we expect Canelo to wipe people out like he has been doing. We've seen it enough from the English fighters getting absolutely blown away by Canelo. So seeing Billy Joe Saunders in there and giving such a good account of himself, some people might argue that Amir Khan was winning the fight up to round 6 and then got blown away. And what's the difference? So for me, it's different because I think this guy was genuinely causing problems and asking a lot more questions. And I guess the other thing was seeing all the fans in that arena. Oh my God, I was so happy to see that. With everything everyone's going through, To see the fans, the noise that was being made, it was really good to see.
The other thing as well, what reminded me was, I think maybe in the fourth or fifth round, was a lot of the Mayweather-esque Canelo. So everyone says it was a long time ago. Yes, it was. But you know the frustration, the awkwardness that he caused, the angles that Billy Joe Saunders was hitting him by, it reminded me a lot of that.
Yeah.
You're chasing him, trying to hunt him down, and you're not. It doesn't look like you're getting success from it.
I agree.
But as we've all seen in the last few years of Canelo, is that guy, the Mexican beef, the beef, the power, it can hit here any time. And I think he knew it himself. Is that I'm going to keep grinding him down, keep hitting him with the body shots, and it eventually, he made him miss and then bang.
Yeah, and bang. And I think that I said about Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders, and being respectful to Canelo, but Canelo's also said some stuff this week, which I think we spoke about when we were both a bit like, mate, I put a bit of respect on it. He said a prime Canelo beats a prime Mayweather. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
No,
because he didn't. You fought a Floyd Mayweather that was an older Floyd Mayweather. So talking about respect and all them sort of things there, that this fight also showed that when you've got someone who is slick and who's slightly elusive, Canelo's not at his fluent best. So let's just put some perspective on it as well, and also people need to understand how good Floyd Mayweather actually was at his craft. But yeah, I think today's is proof that Canelo's is a mule, mate. He hits like a fucking mule.
Yeah.
If he catches you with them shots. He said he felt he broke mate's cheek with that shot. If that's the guy delivering the shot, mate.
And the last thing for me is that I don't want to hear any more bullshit now. From people who don't rate Canelo or saying he handpicks fight. He's literally for everyone. And when we talk about in football terms, we talk about other sports, we say it's how you find a way. It's not, you don't have to look great all the time. Like when we talk about football, you don't have to look great. So you can't not rate Canelo. For me, if any boxing fan come to me and say I don't rate this guy or he's handpicked all his fights, he's been there and mixed it with all the Donnies that you can think of. You look at even at the end of the fight, they say who do you fight next? You're looking at Caleb Plant, just because he's just got the belt. And so for me, I don't want to hear the bullshit. Like he gets in 100%. And he's won against all these dudes.
But the other thing is about handpicking fights. For those people who'd like to make that comment about, these fights are picked and whatever, name me your best 3 fighters. Go through their CVs. Come on now. Do you know what I mean? Everyone does it. All the top fighters have had their fights laid out for them. I know I've mentioned his name twice now, but Amir Khan's going to have on his CV, he's beaten Marco Antonio Barrera. You fought Barrera when he was 40, 43 or something like that, but on his CV he's done it. So do you know what I mean? That's also the part of a promoter's job is to get the right fights and whatever. But I don't think you can say that. Yes, you might have said it down the line, but he fought Triple G twice. He didn't lose. As much as I have my opinions on that, that's the fact of the matter. He's fought. You name it, he's fought him.
No, but for me, like even like the Triple G thing. Like we may have different opinions about who won. Regardless of that, just take the winning thing out of it. Just the fight alone, 24 rounds of boxing. With the 2 of the best boxers, so you can't not say he's not rated. The same with Triple G. We still rate him just because he lost those fights against Canelo. We don't suddenly say he's not good enough.
Like I said, I still believe he won the first one. Yeah. I still believe he did. But so for me, Triple G still bolts. But the fact of the matter is, you've had 24 rounds and you couldn't take the guy out of there. But like both ways. Canelo didn't lose the fight. He didn't get knocked down. He didn't get beat up. Whatever. Point being that you put him in there with whoever you want. And like you said, it could be basically a rainy day at Stoke on a Tuesday. He finds a way. Do you know what I'm saying? So props to Canelo. He's a boss. Him and Mayweather, him and AJ are the face of boxing at the moment, and he's a boss. If there's a Mexican beef in there, and then I'll eat all my words. But as far as I'm concerned, every time I see him fight, he'd always find a way. There's nothing that somebody can prove that they can do that he can't handle, as far as I'm concerned.
And Ben, you said it the best. The Thanos of boxing.
That's
he will take the powers.
Yeah.
And that's what he did today. Like he's gonna learn again from today. Like that experience he will take again from the Billy Joe Saunders fight. He's gonna take that in there and he's gonna smash up Caleb Plant. That's what he will do. Like Caleb Plant is slick. Don't get me wrong. Is he slicker than Billy Joe Saunders? I'm not sure.
Plant-based is not ready for this work.
He's not ready for the beef. Do you know what I mean? The plant-based versus the real beef. So I don't know. But as I said, we both predicted a Canelo victory. He carries on victorious. He's got more belts that he can put on his arm, on his body. And for me personally, I know everyone. I think Mayweather's your favorite boxer all the time. For me, I'm gonna go down and say it's Canelo because it comes down to opinions of what you like. Always, I like watching Canelo fight. He's always aggressive, always brings entertainment. With Mayweather, it's a lot more a boxing IQ on show, 100%. But for me, Canelo's going to go down as one of my favorite boxers of all time, and he's done it for such a long time. And that's why when people do talk back about him, and I see his CV, I just don't get it. Yeah. But after today, he's got over the line again.
And the other thing I want to say is, obviously, big shout out to Billy Joe Saunders. For me, he held it down. Yeah. I don't care. I've seen them judge the scorecards. Fuck that. All I'm saying is, everyone who watched that fight would know that Billy Joe Saunders was in that fight and arguably winning that fight. Some people would say, but get at them in the comments and let us know what you think about that. But also, hopefully, he's okay. It looked like a horrible injury. And listen, he gave a fucking good account of himself. So well done. Yeah. And I hope you're safe and sound. And big respect, because as far as I'm concerned, out of the British fighters that have gone out there and fought Canelo, he's held it down the best.
Not just even Canelo, just going down overseas and then in that massive arena. And then first we thought we had quite a lot of nervous energy, but he held it down.
He was on the cusp of confidence. For me, he was on the cusp of something great tonight. I felt, but
And I think the other thing I want to finish off on is basically how things have changed now, just in a matter of a year, about injuries around your eye sockets, about quitting on the stool and all this kind of stuff. You can sense from today, from what people were saying, they're not saying, oh, he quit on his stool. People are saying, you know what, his eye socket was broken. There will be some people who say that he quit on his stool, blah, blah, blah. But the vibe that you got mostly was that, protect your eye, get in the ambulance and go.
So, you hear it all the time, fights. You drag me out of there, you're never going to see me. No, because no one else is going to put food on your table for you, my G.
Because Kell Brook took a lot of stick.
He took a lot of stick. Dubois got rinsed and all that sort of stuff. Listen, and I've said this all along. Yeah, do you, boo boo? Yeah, get your money, boo boo. Do you? But you're only going to be able to do you and get your money, boo boo, if you can see and you can actually function. As far as I'm concerned, listen, it is what it is. If the Don can't see and you're up against a pit bull in the corner, do you know what I mean? It's hard enough doing it when you're fully functional. So listen, I reckon his safety's paramount. He gave a very good account of himself, held it down, represented, and hopefully it's a speedy recovery. And hopefully he's, I don't know, we'll see what's left in his career after that, because you've seen what he done to Kell Brook, and Daniel Dubois is going to come back from it. So we'll see what it holds. So respect.
So that's the Kang Bros reaction to Canelo Billy Joe Saunders. We're going to get some sleep because man's are tired out here. But until then, we'll really look forward to your comments. We want to see if we saw it different to what you guys saw it. But we can really just debate with you guys. So be sure to comment, subscribe, like, and until then, peace.